Hello, hello, everybody. We are live and we have another launch. Well, it's not quite a launch, it's a little something different, a little something special this time. Because after customers kept asking me over and over and over again, can we share this? Can we share this? Can we share this of our content planning template? I finally said, okay, for a few days, right? I'll let you get the brandable version of it because people have been asking for a while if they could just buy the branding rights to it because it's so good. So what I thought we'd do today, since this is only for a few days that it's available, is I'll give you a look at it. We can talk about how to use it. And Sarah, of course, has lots of ideas because she's already planning how she's going to use it naturally. But I want to give a few tips on different ways. And Sarah has some tips as well of different ways to use it. And there were these two extra tools that I put into the pack that I haven't shared before. You know how that goes, where you look on your computer and you're looking for one thing and you find something really great that you think, why didn't I do anything with this? Why is this sitting there doing nothing? I bet you have a lot of that, right?
Oh, lots. And I find something in one course and I think, oh, what have I got to go with that? And I look through and I can't find anything. And then I see the content template planning and I'm like, oh, I can put that in here and I put that in there. And that's it. I'm like kid in the candy shop.
All right. So there are lots of ways you can use it. I know I'm going to share some in some emails, but we're going to go through them here. And that way you have it all in one place. Okay. We're ready to go. Oh, and there's the URL in case you just want to go straight to the sales page, contentsparks.com/content template, right? All right, so let me switch to our screen sharing. And here, let me hide this. So take note of that. I'll bring it up again when we want to show it again, okay? So this is just the sales page, so you get a few days to grab this. There's a little, the blurb about what it is and what's in there. And look at that. Ooh, this is our new way of showing all the images. So rather than having this huge long page with tons and tons of screenshots, it's all in one GIF. So you can see that really quickly, right?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. That's why I'm going to open everything. So let's just go back to the folder that you will download. This I know you're not going to be able to see as easily, but I'm going to open the main thing, which is the content planning template. It is in a spreadsheet. So this is the big picture of it, right? I'm going to zoom in. Don't worry, I will zoom in. But I want you to show you that it is a big picture thing where you plan out an overview tab, and this is just an example, and then the different types of content. So here, let me zoom in now. Zoom. Let's do 200% should do it. Yes? Yep. Yes. Okay. So this is, and there's an example in here in the first tab. You'll probably want to change that. Maybe not. It depends on your customers. I have it set up based on something that's small business related, right? And the way it works is you identify from the beginning when you're doing your planning exactly what your key promotion is going to be that month. So you're always planning your content around some sort of goal. Not just, oh, I'm going to do a few blog posts. I need to blog every day. I got to blog every day. You have to be strategic about it. So you think about, I have it down as a lead magnet or free offer because you always want to be building your email list or building your, free offer, whether it's related to something. So, so you put that in there and then you put your dates in. And the first thing you want to do is look at key events. So if you have a webinar you're doing, or I had one time where I was going to a conference, whether you're running a workshop or a training series, stuff like that, think ahead to what those events are and then plan your content around that. So you'll see that there's a blog post column, social media, email, video. My microphone is in the way here. You can just slide, on a spreadsheet, you just slide along the bottom to see the other columns. But you've got blog posts, social media, email, and you can put in how often you want to do it. video, graphics, slideshow. You can add, delete columns, add, delete tabs. It's easy to do. And there's instructions in the folder on some of these things. So in this overview tab, you'll see you can plan out topics that all relate to what your offer is, that all relate to a key event, and that should all work together. So that's why it's in this overview. So a lot of people just sort of plan randomly. You want to make sure that if you have a blog post, you're also going to send an email to tell people about the blog post and post it on social media. If you have a webinar you're going to be doing, you want to make sure that you're sending out with your emails a webinar invite. So we've got email, video, maybe you're doing a video that afterwards of a snippet of it or sharing the recording. So make sure everything fits together and you can look at that example. And then the rest of it is the blank tabs for actually filling in. That's just the overview one. You'll see, here's an example with the blog posts. I'll zoom again so you can see. So you've got topic, author, status. So you had in that overview tab, you had your blog post, right? These are just the topics. Then when you're planning out the actual blog post, you could put in topic, author, status, call to action, links, keywords, all the stuff you'd need in there. And that way also, if you're outsourcing anything to any writers, you have the information right there that they're going to need. And the same sort of thing with social media and email. The columns are very similar. And then there's an idea bank and another place to record published content as well. So I'm going to zoom on this. It looks blank, but it's going to fill up really quickly. So say you're thinking about blog post topics for the month, and you have a few down, and then you get some great ideas that you don't want to use right away. You're in the spreadsheet, put them right into your idea bank, your ideas for future content topics. And if it's suggested by somebody, like if you have a team, that's a good thing to record, because then you're going to go back to them and say, hey, you can write this. Who might be able to do it, write it when you think you'll be able to do it, because you don't want to lose it and just lose it in the bank. And then any other notes. And then there's a published content one as well. Sorry, this is small for you guys. So in the published content, whenever you do publish it, you want to try and keep track of the title and the URL and the date so you can go back and you have that recorded. And Sarah, you had a tip on this one as well.
Yeah.
Can you share that?
Use an automated service like Zapier or Zapier, whatever you call it.
I call it Zapier because
Yeah.
it zaps. Yeah.
And there's also if this then that.com.
Mhm.
And on IFT, you can set up all your social media accounts, including your WordPress website or your website if you've got a feed. Then when you've got that, you can connect it to a Google Sheet. So you could import this spreadsheet into a Google Sheet and then set up the applet. So if something comes from your feed on your website, that it's then pulled into this spreadsheet. Now, we don't have the time to go into all of the tiny little detail. You may have to have a play around with it. It probably will take you 10 or 15 minutes to do that. And then every time you publish, it will populate either this sheet on its own or a separate spreadsheet with all your published content. And it will give you, if you ask it to, the date that it's published, the URL, and so on. So that means you've got a searchable list. Now, as wonderful as WordPress is, trying to find a certain blog post can be a pain in the backside at times. So having a searchable list is really good, because the one thing Excel excels at is being easy for searches and finding the correct URL.
Yep. Yeah, and just searching. So you just do a find. What was I going to say?
And
I don't remember.
I looked on Zapier and they've got similar automation. So if you've already got Zapier and you're happy with how they work, you don't need to go out and get IFT. You can just do a look through Zapier, Zapier, sorry, and
Or-
see what connections they've got that will take from your WordPress website or your website's feed and to populate a Google Sheet.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways that you can automate this. And if you're a little bit tech savvy, that's something you can show your clients how to do. So they don't have to worry about populating it or getting a VA to scrape all the data or things like that. It's something that can be set up and take moments for them to do and save them absolutely hours.
Yep. And I bet there's a way, I'm not really that tech savvy on that kind of thing, but I'll bet there's a way to take some of the things from here and populate them over. So if you have your blog posts, let me look at the blog post topics, you could just copy and paste it over here easily enough, but there might be a way to automate that if you're really good at that, which that's some sort of macro. If anyone knows how to do that, great, pitch in. I'm sure there'll be people who will pay you to do that. So remember, this is brandable. So you're going to want to use it yourself, but you're getting the branding rights now. And that means at the very top, you're going to put your logo. And you can do other stuff in Excel with styles and backgrounds and whatnot to make it more customized. Anything else on this before we look at the other documents?
No, I was just going to say it's one of those tools that at the moment it looks really big, but once you get into it, you'll wonder what you ever did without it.
Definitely. It gives you the big picture. Also, one thing that you can do, again, I guess I'll look at the example, is if someone is at more of a beginner level, and this is too overwhelming, you don't have to start them with all the other tabs, right? You could just start and have them do the overview. And you don't have to fill in every single row. You're not doing 5 videos a week. You'll be doing social media every day, but you're not necessarily going to do a blog post a day. So that's why you would plan out how many times in the headers, like here it says blog post 2 to 3 a week. Now we only do 1 a week because doing other stuff, email 5 a week. I tend to email pretty much every day. You may not get all those emails because I segment based on what people have shown an interest in, especially during a launch. And you could put notes like that next to it also, like who it goes to, maybe in the email tab. But you can use this, just the overview tab alone is priceless, just using that. And you can use the other tabs to go into more detail. All right. There was a question.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep anything in there. So I would put videos. If you've posted slideshows in places, obviously the blog posts, social media tweets and stuff, I wouldn't keep those in there. Okay, that's just going to get overwhelming, especially if you're tweeting a lot. What do you say, Sarah? You're my social media maven.
I would duplicate the published content and have published content blog, published content videos, published content slideshows. So you've got 3 extra sections. Now, it's
I don't
not
know if you can see that.
Here,
there are instructions in the instructions document on how to copy those tabs. So if you're in the published content tab, you can't really see at the bottom here, but if you right click on the tab, there's a thing that says move or copy. So you would just click on that and you can say where you want to put it. So say you want to move it to the end but you're going to create a copy and it copies it. So now there's another tab and then you can right click on it and rename it.
Yep.
Right. So that's easy to do. So now you've just had that.
So I wouldn't, as Sharon says, keep the tweets, but you can add the extra published content videos. Again, you can use Zapier or IFT, that when you upload a YouTube on video, that it pulls over the URL to this page. And the same would probably work for SlideShare, because all of these sites want you to share your content there. So they're easily connected to things like IFT and Zapier. So that's a really good thing there in your question, Charlotte, because it's something that's unique to you. When you get this template, you might focus on, say you focus on teaching people to use live video, you're now able to do the sheets to fit live video and videos that you've moved to YouTube, videos that you've perhaps chopped up and put on Instagram. So you can really customize this to whatever your offering is. And the other thing is, you can also customize it for one thing, say live videos, and where you repurpose it, and then do it again for blog posts, and then do it again for something else. So you've now got 3 handy spreadsheets for everybody's content planning. So it's a really good way you can offer incredible value.
Yep. Yeah. So you don't have to have it for all the different types of content, but if you are helping people with content marketing in general, it does help to have it all in one spreadsheet with the multiple tabs versus someone having to go over to lots and lots of different spreadsheets to find what their plans were. And then you keep everything in that overview. All right. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to have to deal with, 10 different spreadsheets and go to my live video one and my blogging one and my social media one. You want to have it all in one so you could flip around and again in the overview see how it all fits together with whatever you're promoting. Mm-hmm. But you can use it as a freebie or something you could work with clients on and then promote different courses. So you have it all together. Somebody's relatively new to social media or relatively new to blogging and needs help on that, you can promote the blogging mastery course or content upgrades or email marketing or something like that. So this is a really great starting point as well for a whole curriculum of different courses on content marketing. All right. I did show that, didn't I? Yes. Yeah. So we can talk more about how to use this just in terms of with your courses. That's why we included a coupon also for people who buy this to get any of our content marketing courses too. So I don't know if I told you that, Sarah.
No, you didn't. But what I was going to say from me, just watching you go through this to me is a perfect webinar. This is come onto this webinar. We're going to plan all your content. And when you get on here, I'm going to give you a spreadsheet and we're going to do this together. And you can show people as you go through, press this, do this, do this, do this. And then you've trained them to put together all their content planning. And that's a really powerful training because Sharon's gone through so much in less than 15 minutes. And if people want at the end of it to have a customized one-to-one session with you, you can upsell that. But for the 15 minutes, by the time you've added this is who I am, this is why I'm the god of all things content, and then when you answer the questions, and then when you say to them, oh, and if you want to do this one-to-one with me, you can book a private session, or you're selling a course at the end of it, that takes it into a nice 45 minutes to an hour webinar. It is just so perfect for that. Nobody else do that. That's mine. Okay.
Well, it's also be good with our, that we have the package your services course this month, which is still on sale. It's still at the launch price. This would be a great tool for selling your services, and then you can work with them. In fact, you could have a package where say for a virtual assistant, you're just helping them with social media and you work through part of this spreadsheet. Maybe you could just have the one spreadsheet, but a larger package could be working through your email and your social media. And this could be kind of the strategy call also for a coach or consultant who's doing a lot of the content marketing. So if you're selling your services for content marketing, you could do a strategy call where you look at some of this in the free strategy call and then be selling it. So that would be like a one-to-one versus the webinar, which is the group stuff. So just another idea. This would be a part of your package that you're selling.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of different ways to use it. Obviously, it can be a lead magnet for building your email list. And there are instructions in there. So if you are just delivering it, here, let me open up the instructions. So I know I kind of breezed through all those different things, but there are some instructions in here. We highlighted this yellow bit because it was a bit that we have in there talking about content sparks and how you can speed up all the content creation by using brandable content. So we have a mention of that in there with our link. If you're an affiliate of ours and you have customers or clients who might want to use brandable content to speed things up, you could sign up for our affiliate program and put your link in there. So that's another source and just another idea. And then you could help them with actually using that, customizing it, putting into place. So there's instructions in here, some screenshots telling you use the overview, give it a reality check. So people might get a little overly ambitious and fill in everything and all the content they want to create. And every single day, I'm going to do a blog post. You need to stop and do a reality check and see whether that makes sense and how long that would really take you. Because some people can whip out 10 emails in one day, especially if it's a topic you know, and some might take 6 weeks to do that if it's something you have to research. So you need to do that reality check. And then there's instructions to fill in the different tabs and you'll see some screenshots. So hopefully that would help to help you with using it. So, and again, this is brandable. You're going to add your URL at the bottom, your styles, your logo. And this is something you would package in with that planning template, with that spreadsheet. The other document in here, which Sarah and I just had a little argument about.
Yeah, I said to Sharon, as you can see, she's got all these amazing things. I said the only time I've ever banged out a webinar in 1.5 to 2.5 days is using your content, Sharon. She did say to me, hang on a minute, when you know the content really well, it is faster. But you might know your audience, and I know my audience. If I said to them, you can write a blog post in 2 to 3 hours, they just laugh at me because they tend to spend an entire day on it. And this is something that they know really, really well.
All right. Well, once you've done one, so these are just really rough estimates that you can change. And if you're doing any of these services for people where you're helping them with this, helping with the creation of this stuff, estimate how long it would take them to do it, because then you can talk about how long it would take you to do it for them. So it's a good promotion point that way, but you need to give them some estimate. Like the 5 to 10 emails on a specific topic. I said outline, write, schedule 1 to 1.5 days. If you do,
one of them has taken me 6 weeks.
But you did not spend the whole 6 weeks doing that. I assure you, because otherwise you wouldn't be on this call right now on this live stream if you were doing that. But if you know the topic, you can sit down and bang out a series of emails, no problem. Absolutely.
What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to book an hour with a VA, and I'm just going to say to her, how long will it take you to do this? How long will it take you to do this? How long will it take you to do this? And her entire hour on the call with me will be, how long will it take for this? So I can adjust my things accordingly, because VAs are good, but they're not known for being super fast or super slow. They're sort of in the middle, and they're generally faster than our clients. So if they say to me, oh, syndicated articles is 3 days, I know for my client, it's going to be twice that.
You might not want to do it as a 500 to 7-word post. See, now this is funny because a blog post, this says research, write, publish, promote 2 to 3 hours. For someone like you, Sarah, I bet you can easily do that. You can sit down in an hour and do it, but you might play with making it pretty. A
really good one in about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But there is the but element of that. it may not be as perfect as the client wants.
Mm-hmm.
So what slows it down is the additional research and the going backwards and forwards and the headlines. And sometimes me and you, Sharon, are on headlines for 3 or 4 days, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
The worst part, the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Thinking up a title for a course is absolutely the thing that takes me the longest, and I struggle over and agonize over. Yeah.
Yeah. So as fast as you can have your course up in 2 to 4 weeks, you may then spend the next 6 months sorting out a name for it.
Yeah, I think I have a workshop in here as one of the things, like a live workshop, a longer thing. So that would probably be an event on your content planning template versus something small, right? There's email series, but then you might have an event. And 3 to 7 hour training, that really is using brandable content. I mean, you could whip together some slides pretty quickly. I think I have 2 weeks to 2 months. Yeah, it really varies quite a bit depending on how long and whether you know it and how much material you're going to put into it.
For me, this document is going to become an infographic. I'm thinking I might get a wavy path and put little flags of timeline, sort of how long pieces of content take to create. And I think that would make a beautiful blog post / infographic. And I think it would be something that could have the potential to go viral on Pinterest and various other social medias. And then once I've done that, it can be turned into a little slideshow / video. So this for me is the second best piece of content in this pack. So nobody else can use this, right?
And then you're going to send them to an opt-in to get the template, the planning template, and then send them to your Content Nitro course or your academy.
I think what I'm actually going to do is send them to a webinar. They opt in and go for the webinar where I'll go through the planning thing with them. And then I'll say, right, we've got 2 options here. This is all too much for you and you want to outsource it. So book a call here with me, get your credit card ready. We'll sort this mess out for you. Or you can do it yourself, but you just need some support and some skill brush ups, in which case you'll love the academy. So I'm not giving them, I've learned this from the packaging post that you sent out last week in the blog post where it says, give them a choice. I'm not giving them the me or nothing choice. I'm giving them the, you can have me do it for you, or you can buy into the academy options. So, you know, I've already got return on investment from my package of services because I've learned something myself and I'm now deploying it in everything. I'm driving my husband nuts changing things.
Are you doing a do with you? So there's do it yourself, do with you, and do for you, done for you. Are you doing, is the academy more of a do with you type thing as well? Is there an option?
I do have a do with you option. I'm not taking many more people on that because I don't have the capacity, but I do have a really good team who are going to be fabulous with the people for doing it for them. So it makes sense for me to push that or to push the academy because I like how I do my work at the moment. I like my one-to-one clients that I work with. I'm not looking to fill up my time. I'm looking to hand it off to the people that will love them and make them happy.
Yep. Makes sense. Okay. So that's the timing document. Let me open one of the other ones. So I showed you the instructions, the template spreadsheet, the time estimates. So I'm going to open up those bonus ones that nobody has seen before as well. So the first is a content marketing checklist. And what this is a checklist for planning and implementing your content marketing strategy. So here, well, you can see it. So it's a very complete checklist. It's 4 pages, set goals, ideal customer profile, map your content needs. And I'm going to show you, it says see template. I'll show you that in a second. Identify topics. So these are all the key things you want to do to implement a good, effective content marketing plan, maintaining quality control, defining your timeline, your promotion, monitoring results, identifying changes. Oh yeah, and of course you have to put your call to action at the end, because if you're using this as a lead magnet of some sort, or even if it's not a lead magnet and say it's a bonus inside another course, you still should have some sort of call to action at the end, whether it's okay, do this, or go to this lesson, or check out this other course if you need more help, or call me for a strategy call if you need more one-to-one help. You always want to have something like that in there. So that's a really good checklist. You could put that in other formats if you wanted, like Canva or PowerPoint, to snazz it up. But one thing I wanted to show you on this is that these all can connect to other courses. So if you give it as another freebie, because you don't want to overwhelm people by giving them the spreadsheet and the instructions and the timings and the checklist and the other thing I'm going to show you, the mapping template. Break it up, do it as different things, because this is a little more next level. So this on its own can be a lead magnet, and then focus on different courses. So we have a course on creating your ideal customer profile, and that can connect there. We have, there are different things that could relate to the content needs based on the buying process. So we have the one on using content marketing to build your brand, would probably be a good one. Or introducing people to the customer lifecycle marketing model, things like that. I think we still have a course on brainstorming, surveys. We have something on surveys. So there are lots of different things where you can build out a whole curriculum and use this as the kicking off point, where you link off to different courses, kind of like what Sarah has with that Content Academy, her online visibility academy. What else is in here? Timeline, quality control. Hey, quality control. We have the business writing course, which is great. Timeline. I'm just looking. Promotion. You can be doing all sorts of content marketing promotion stuff. We have social media. So you can go to your heart's content, build out a whole curriculum, and just using this. Have you already decided, Sarah, how you're going to use this too?
Yeah, that's a lead magnet. It is. Well, the moment I saw it, I knew it would be the most perfect lead magnet, and I'm going to pop it into Canva, glam it all up, and it's going to look really visually gorgeous. And I think it's something that I can also pop into the content brand course, and there's another content marketing one that I've got. Can't remember. I think it might be content community.
Building a community around your brand. That one? Could be. There's the blogging one. There's content creation mastery. I don't think we sell anymore. That could be what you're thinking of.
Yeah, I was going to say I've got that one. I think that was content marketing from scratch.
Oh, there's the realistic content marketing plan.
Yeah. But there are a few places that this, as well as being a lead magnet, can actually go in, and it gives me the opportunity to email those people who've purchased those courses to say, how are you getting on? How's your content marketing going? Here's this checklist, and it reopens the communication channel with those students.
Yeah. But now, Sarah, you have like everything.
Yeah.
All of our courses. If for someone who's relatively new and only has a few, look at what you have. Look at what you want to promote around content marketing, and then see what kind of gaps you might have, so that you can use the coupon that comes with this. I think it gives 40% off anything in our content marketing category, but it's only till the end of February. It has an expiration, just so that you're not completely overwhelming yourself. You know what you have, and maybe pick a little bit where you want to expand and build off of the template and the checklist, so that you're planning out over the year what else you're going to deliver or promote. Because you don't have to be doing services. We were talking about packaging your services and using this as a way to promote that. You don't have to be doing your services for everything. So say you specialize in, you're a writer and you specialize in doing the blogging. You're still going to have people who need help with, say, email marketing. And so you can set up a course on that, so that when they ask about it, you have a course ready that they can teach, or sorry, that they can teach themselves and do it themselves. And you might want to add that service on in the future. So just think, again, everything strategically. And you don't have to be building out a whole big curriculum at once, like Sarah has with a lot of stuff in it. You can be starting with just a few pieces and then plan to add on from there. But at least you have that template as your starting point.
The other thing with the template, the checklist, is if you were looking to do some sort of group engagement activity because you're not quite sure what you're selling them at the end of it, this would be perfect. So on day one, they set their content marketing goals and you can talk about that. And then on day two, they create their ideal customer profile. And then on day three, they map their content needs to the customer's buying process. And as you're going through each day, by going through what's on the checklist, you're getting their objections and their problems. So you might go into this thinking, I'll sell a content marketing course. At the end of it, Sharon's got the perfect one. She said it on the live stream. And at the end of it, what you've come out with is, no, they don't want to do it themselves. I'm going to put together some templates, sell them the templates to make it easier. Or you might think to yourself, oh, this is an opportunity for me to affiliate for something. So you really do get, if you use this as something to re-engage your Facebook groups or even your email list, you can really dig deep and get what people are struggling with. If you find people come back to you and say, what's this client avatar that you're talking about? It makes no sense to me. You go, bing, 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 Sharon's got a program that was released in December. And you say, okay, would you like to have a VIP morning where we'll go through this? And if they say yes, you go and buy the program and you deliver it to them over Zoom. And a VIP morning, you can charge $300 to $500 easily.
Yeah.
Which pays for your program and your lunch and your night out. Not that we're going out in England anyway.
Takeout and delivery. So the template, we were talking about the buying process, and I said there's this template that goes with it. So Sarah was talking about, this could be an activity also. So I'm going to open that up. This is the other bonus document that I discovered I had and hadn't been using, sadly, very sadly. So it's called a content mapping template. You're mapping your content to the customer's buying process. Hey, Debbie. Hi. Debbie remembers this, maybe. It comes in two formats. Put it in a Trello board and a document, Word. So the content mapping template, ooh, you can't see it well that way. Let's do a little side by side. There. You don't have to read this, do you? Maybe a little bit. Let me show you. So the way it works is you have different columns. In the first column is the stage of the buying process. So this is where your customer is based on buying your product. And it goes through, they're unaware of the problems that you solve. They're aware of a problem and want to learn more. Learn about what solutions are available. They recognize your expertise. They discover how your solutions are different, and they validate the decision to buy from you versus someone else. All right, that's the sort of thing that people are thinking. What you want to do when you're putting together content is think about questions or issues that are going through your customer's mind when they're at that stage. And you're going to use this template, this mapping template, to think about different answers, topics, different formats you could do in here as well. Does this go off to the right? No. Let me just 100%. Yeah, no, it's just those columns. Zoom a little bit more. Okay, so that's how we have it set up first in a document where you can just make a list and you can use this over and over, print it out, add your branding, all that fun stuff so that you can share it with your customers and your clients. And this is the kind of thing where you will want to go through and explain it. So you can do a little live stream, a series of live streams, work one-on-one with someone, with a client, work with your group and have them brainstorm, especially if they have similar customers too. Yeah. Similar market, you could do that. Think about different tactics. So this would be fun to do. It'd be fun to do in a VIP group where you have like one person in a hot seat each time, and everyone's kind of troubleshooting, brainstorming different things. So I think I had examples in each. So unaware of the problems, issues of faster business growth. You might have answers like different ways to grow faster, social media, possible content formats. What else is in here? Learn about what solutions are available. So when they're ready to actually think about what are some of the different solutions, you might have content around what are the best ways to implement, options that yield the highest ROI. So that could be something longer like a white paper. You've got things like discover how your solutions are different. Customers what's going through their mind is, okay, how do they decide who to buy from? So you want to help with things like criteria to use to help them make up their mind. You might have tutorials. So think about that. Obviously, it's going to be just so different from customer to customer. So you need to customize this a bit, maybe put some different examples in there. Debbie has taught this mapping stuff. It's great for clients. Yes. Great for working one-on-one with people, and then you go do it for them and create a map. How are you going to use it, Sarah?
Well, I was thinking this makes a perfect 7-day challenge. That each day you do something, and part of that can be, like you say, having a hot seat. I think for me, it's a paid product. It's not a freebie lead generator, because it is so valuable for the individual, and they're getting our one-to-one time as well, or one to a small group of people time. And I think this is something that would be really good fun. And like you say, with the hot seats, because then you can get other people in the community to say, yes, this is really good, or are you sure that's what you really do? You know, so I'm thinking I'm going to run something like this with my VIP community, because I think they'll have a lot of fun, and it builds up a lot of connection with each other. So, yeah, I'm really quite excited about this, because I didn't see this as something I was going to use. It was just, And now, being here on this live stream, I can see precisely where it's going.
Excellent. Yeah. And you can have them go off and do activities, like if they have to go talk to their customers. And they'll gather some of this if they're doing the ideal customer profile course too. They can fill in some of this. So you could actually use this with that course. It would again go with some different courses, or things like if they need to learn more, you teach them how to do surveys, that kind of thing too. So lots of options with that one. And it is, I told you it was in a separate format also, which is the Trello board. And this is, I promise, the last thing I'm going to show you. Actually, the link is here. Oops. I think we forgot to put it in the right folders. We'll have to fix that. I'll open up the Trello board. All you do is click the link in the document. Trello is free. You do not need a paid version, but you will need to make any edits you want, put your branding on, but first you have to save a copy. So you set up your free Trello account if you don't have one. You make a copy of this and then do any edits you want to it. And then your customers, your students will need to make a copy of it as well in order to fill in some of the things. So we've broken it up. There's some instructions in the beginning of how to make a copy of the board, how to use it. There's some visuals in there. So once you share it, you'll probably want to take this out before you share it with your own customers, because it just talks about how to change the images. And then each one goes with that buying process, and it follows along in a similar way to that map, where these were the columns. They can just fill it in here, but then there's also a checklist of things that they have to do, to checklist of making sure they've done all of this. This is where it's going to work well with your challenge, Sarah. Though you might want to divide it up into columns for each day then.
Yeah, I think it needs a little playing around, but I think it has so much more potential than I initially thought.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'd love to see what other people are doing. Helps clients get more engagement, more leads, and better results for their content efforts. Yes. More than fun, but fun is good because then when it's fun, people actually do it. So that is everything. I'm going to close that up. And if anyone has questions, I should share the URL again. That's the first question. Where can you get it? contentspark.com/content template. And as a reminder, again, this is only available for a few days, the brandable version of this. And after that, it's gone. This was a special thing that we're giving the branding rights to. We have not done that before. I don't think we're going to do it again necessarily. I haven't decided, but probably not, unless I get begged to do it, which is the only reason I did it the first time. And those two things, the content marketing checklist and the content mapping template, the two bonus things, aren't available anywhere at all, even branded, even personal use. So you'll probably want to get those. So this is it. And then again, use it as the basis for a whole curriculum around content marketing or for selling your services in packages, for planning out that curriculum so that your clients have other places to go to learn things, with your groups to engage your community, build your email list. The only thing you cannot do with it is go sharing it for free everywhere. All right. That's really important with any of our stuff that's meant as lead magnets or paid courses and stuff like that. I don't want to see this out there on the web just being shared freely. It totally devalues it for your own uses and your investment that you've put into it. So I just felt like I needed to say that because not everybody gets that it's important. I think that's it that I have. Sarah, you have anything else to add?
No, I'm unseasonably quiet.
Yeah, what's going on here?
I think I'm just really excited about the template and all the things that I can do with it. I came on with just a couple of ideas and now my brain's brimming.
Definitely. And I could definitely see it working with the one we have on launch this month, the package your services one, for anyone who's a service provider and does anything to do with content marketing. It'd be great for virtual assistants, for consultants, for any kind of marketing consultant and coach, for everything. And this is a really good time of year to do it too, because people are in planning mode. So it's a great time to take that. People haven't been happy with their content marketing in the past. It's been overwhelming, disorganized. They haven't seen results. So many people always say they have trouble getting results from their content marketing. And it's usually because they haven't been doing it strategically in an organized way. And that with this template, with the planning, especially starting with the overview where you're linking all your content to each other and to whatever your goal is in one big picture, that's going to help tremendously with that. Otherwise, it's always going to be haphazard and results are going to be all over the place, really spotty. So this will help. And then you can, again, build your curriculum, your courses, and you'll really see your revenue go up this year. People are really into doing the online courses. More and more people are doing the do-it-yourself. So they do want the courses, but then those people are also seeing that they can't do everything themselves. And that's when they're going to be coming to you for help also. Like you, Sarah, you're doing some of it for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Time for dinner. For lunch for me.
Dinner here. We've got Chinese, so I'm really quite excited. And I'm going to be talking content planning template all over dinner, which will really upset the kids. I'm happy kids on Instagram later.
All right. Well, take care, everybody. See you soon.